Torrential rain and flash flooding has hit many parts of the country, and whilst there's a bit of respite now, midweek it will be back with a vengeance, unfortunately. Now, as you can see from this map here, much of New South Wales has really been affected. Parts of Queensland and Victoria, they're also on flood watch, and hopefully that map will come up. There it is. Now, if you are a supercars fan as well, we know that Bathurst has been interesting to say the least, and congratulations to Shane van Gisbergen, who had a pretty incredible win. And speaking of, let's head there now to New South Wales Deputy Premier and the state's Regional Minister, Toole, for the latest. Minister, thank you so much for your time. Well, there you are at the track. First of all, what are conditions like on the ground?
Yeah, look, Erin, we've been pretty fortunate. It's been a pretty wild and wet weekend. But look, today we actually saw some great racing. We had some fine weather here today. And, I think that's what's been pretty exciting here in Bathurst. We never know what's going to happen here at the racetrack. And, it has been an incredible number of days. But we've seen some fantastic racing. I mean, we saw the controversy yesterday afternoon where we couldn't actually host the top 10 shootout because of the wet weather. Today, we saw a crash that actually occurred within 10 seconds of the race starting. It's had thrills and spills all day. But at the end of the 161 laps, we've got Shane van Gisbergen and Garth Tander that are standing on the podium taking out the Peter Brock Trophy.
Yeah, I used to go there after the football season every year at my old stomping ground, and I miss it. I'm very jealous, but I'm not here to talk to you about car racing. Dubbo doesn't look that crash hot. There's a lot of regions right now that are really struggling with excess water. Minister, what's the situation now and where regionally is worst affected?
Yeah, look, at the moment, we've got a number of flood warnings that are across the state. So, we were, and they are under a flood warning at this point in time. So the areas that are most impacted are around Dubbo, they're around Forbes, they're around Wagga and also Hawkesbury. So we are keeping a bit of an eye and watch on the moment as to what happens in Forbes over the coming days. We have seen widespread rainfall. This has actually caused a lot of our roads to be impacted as well. A number of our major highways have been cut. There's been landslips in various parts of the state as well. And, whilst there are only still flood warnings, we need to be, prepared because we are predicting further wet weather to come in around Wednesday of next week. So we've got to make sure that people are still prepared. And look, the message is very simple. Stay out of those flood waters. If it's flooded, forget about it. I keep saying to people, please don't be a fool and go into those flood waters, because what you're doing is you're putting your life at risk. You're putting other emergency service personnel lives at risk as well, because these are the people that may have to come in and actually get you out.
What is the state government doing? Obviously, you're coordinating a response, and there's also an element of trying to prepare for what's to come midweek. What is the state government doing to try and lessen any impact?
Yeah, look, we're taking a lot of advice, obviously, from the SES. So the SES have been out there working very closely with our police. They've been working alongside communities. There's been a lot of door knocking that's taken place in various parts of the state where they have been concerned as to where we may have seen some flooding occurring. And whilst it may not have occurred on this occasion, we still need people to be prepared. So make sure they clean up around their homes, listen to the advice that is being given, make sure that they follow, live traffic if they are travelling. We've got a lot of people that, are on the roads tonight, people tomorrow morning that are going back from the Bathurst 1000. We just ask people as well to take their time, to be patient and to realise that, there may be a lot of congestion out there on our roads, and we want people to arrive safely to their destination. And, we are seeing, we are predicted to have even more wet weather until the end of the year. So we're not going to see it go away in the short term. It's going to be around a lot longer throughout the year. So we've all got to work together to be able to ensure that the measures are in place to protect and keep everybody safe.
I feel like a broken record asking you about the Warragamba Dam, but what is the latest?
Yeah, look, the Premier obviously said the other day that the best way of actually flood mitigation is to raise the Warragamba Dam and, to raise it by 14 metres. And, this would save thousands of homes from being impacted by floodwaters that we're seeing from this part of the Nepean and Hawkesbury area. Some of those people have been impacted by multiple times this year from flooding that's occurred. And really the best way of actually mitigating it and actually stopping some of that flooding and lessening it for those communities is to raise the dam wall. And, I know that the Premier is very strong about this. He wants to see this happen as well. And that's why we're full steam ahead with the work that's required to actually see this project occurring.
We've heard similar sentiments before, Minister. How quick can we go from planning and wanting it to happen to actually having it happen?
Well, Erin, I think we have to. It has to happen as quickly as possible. So, we know those planning regimes take a little bit of time. So we need to make sure that, we're getting through that. But let's make sure that we're putting people's lives first. Let's make sure that we're putting people's, property and safety as the number one priority. We seem to have all these groups that come out of the woodwork, and they seem to find every excuse in the world to actually stop dams from being built. They'll tell us that there's a moth. They'll tell us that there's a frog. They'll tell us that there's some lizard that's there to actually stop the dam.
Don't even start me on these species that no one cares about prior to the wanting to raise a dam wall.
Absolutely, Erin, because this is about people. This is about people's lives. This is about people's property, and we've got to make sure that we get on with it. I know that it's going to be an expensive project. We've actually said that we want the Commonwealth Government as well to come on board by providing 50% of the funding. So, we will step up. We need the Commonwealth Government to be able to do so, because this is a major project that is so important for so many people. So let's hope the federal government comes on board and throws some serious dollars behind an important project.
Absolutely. Now, I've only got 30 seconds. Police, you mentioned earlier, they play a really big role in this. A story in the Telegraph says that experienced officers are leaving the New South Wales Police Force in record numbers. Is this true, and why?
Well, we've actually announced the biggest increase in the police force in 30 years, so 1,500 extra roles in this term of government. We've actually got a scheme whereby an optional disengagement scheme allows police officers to be able to retire with dignity. Some of them have been in the force for 10, 20, 30 years, and they want to move on. They want to go to something else. So we've allowed this to occur as well. We've had 747 new police that have gone through Goulburn Academy this year. I'll be down there next week, and there'll be more being rolled out. So we're going to continue to see police being rolled out because they are so important here in the state.
Yeah, we still need experienced ones. We can't be too bottom heavy, but I know what you're saying. Minister, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And enjoy the mountain. It's nothing like it after a Bathurst 1000.
The party's about to begin, Erin.
God.
I can tell you right now.
Watch out. There's cameras everywhere. Thank you very, very much.